Hi everyone, this is Amin Jouahra. Welcome to our first official Anecdote episode. As I mentioned recently on social media that the first episode is coming live soon, I decided to make it this week because I'm on a trip in Algiers, which is my hometown, and it happened accidentally to meet a very good friend, Karim Abdelmoula, who has his own studio. Then we decided to record the first episode. And the first episode is, I don't want to sound arrogant or let's say selfish, but it's my own story. And I wanted to share my own story because I find it a little bit specific, unique. And I say always, every story is really unique. So my name is Amin Jouahra. I'm Algerian, born in Algiers, raised between Algeria, went to France, came back to Algeria. So spent a couple of amazing years here. But since I was young, I have always been curious, trying a lot of things till I find what really matters and what really excites me. It was in sports, trying a lot of things, but then I settled in basketball. I've done it also in studies, tried a few days in a university called Babzouar, then moved for architecture. I'm graduated as an engineer in architecture. Worked a couple of years in architecture, but at that time my passion for photography was growing. So I was also a passionate photographer. I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate. It all started with a gift from my wife who gifted me a DSLR, and that was a revolution. I loved capturing images, and then at a certain moment this passion became a profession. So I became a professional photographer, working mainly on studio, commercial, events photography. At that time, the passion for photography led me into selling cameras. Then I joined one of the companies, famous brand of cameras, selling cameras. And then the business angle started. From a business angle, coming from an architectural background, I was not like graduated in sales or marketing, so I had to prove myself. But I was always passionate about selling cameras, convince customers, and try to push the features based on the application of cameras and what is a photographer going to do with this tool. I loved business. I loved business simply because it was pushing me to interact with people, customers, partners, and that was the biggest drive in the business. At the same time, my business of photography was also booming, but then I had a very unique experience because a very close friend of mine, I hope she will, recognize herself. She said, I need you to shoot for the wedding photography of her cousin. And at that time, being a wedding photographer in Algeria, honestly was not easy from all aspects. I was a bit shy. Socially, it was like very, very specific. But then she pushed me and I've gone for it. And it went very well. The only experience which I'll retain from that is like when I gave the end result, so the photo book, the frames and everything, the emotion and somehow the recognition which I got from the couple was like way better from any financial check or payout which I got from any of the other jobs, whether it was an event or a commercial. And that human connection was so big that I realized that, you know what, I don't want to do any more commercial photography. I want to do mainly weddings, family or lifestyle. That was a really big trigger in my professional life in photography. After that, my passion to the business has been growing. Thanks God, I would say I've been quite successful, partners really enjoying, grew up within the same company. Then I got an offer with the biggest, I would say, digital imaging brand worldwide to move out of Algeria, Dubai, and take a job there. So it was a big jump because it meant leaving my own country, going for a complete new experience, and that taking my family. And that same thing, when I went to Dubai, I will never forget that day. My first day of job was 1st April. And there's always that April Fool things. You just look at how is it? It's like you're staying in a hotel, joining a new company, the biggest multinational, honestly, for photography and digital imaging, and working in an environment which is, let's say, multicultural, very, I would say, business driven, but we're not speaking about local country business. It's a regional business. It was a great experience. I've gone through a lot of, I would say, good days, challenging days, but I've been growing in the company. I've been really lucky, I would say, to be at the right place at the right moment. And I would say I've done also a little bit good to deserve a couple of promotions. But same thing, my biggest drive was the relation with people. I started gaining credibility of partners, because when you are at the international level is not easy. So you're coming from a local experience, going abroad. Business in the region is made by trust. It's between women and men, whether they trust you, whether your credibility is there, how honest you are, how, let's say, committed to support their growth. And that's where my recognition started coming. A lot of partners start enjoying working with me. I loved being at the service of the business with partners. And then I got a couple of promotions till I reached a leadership position. That leadership position put me in a situation where I've gone through a program, was assigned a coach. And honestly speaking, that was, let's say, the biggest change in my life. Having a coach, someone to support me past my own blocks, someone support me to find my inner strength, my motivation to go and achieve things that I would have never thought before. It was an amazing experience. And then I thought, this is what I want to do in life. I want to support people around me, be it partners, customers, colleagues. And then I started being more curious about it. Then suddenly COVID hit. It was the period where everyone was isolated. The interaction, the connection between people got somehow completely disrupted. But then, thanks God, we came back together. And that's the moment I realized, I want to get closer to people. I want to support people. In the past 2 years, some started reflecting a lot. I don't know if it's mid-age crisis or mid-career crisis, but reflecting a lot. And one question was with social media, I'm a lot following all leadership and motivational, inspirational channels. And one question is what is your purpose in life? What is your purpose? What do you want to do in life? And one day I was flying back from a country, and I was reflecting in the flight. I don't know why, but every time I'm in a flight, I tend to write posts on social media, reflect on a lot of things. Maybe because I'm in the sky, closer to the skies. So the question was how do you want to be remembered? And at that time, I was reading a book, and there was a sentence saying that people are remembered by the value they bring to others. Is not remembered by, whether you were driving a, G63, or you were wearing a Patek Philippe watch or something, but you are remembered only what good or what value addition you bring to people around you, be it at social level, be it at a corporate level, family. And that really got stuck with me. And I said, okay, how can I be a better version for myself and for others? And then I reconnected it with the coaching. I went for, let's say, a lot of research on how to do coaching. Within our company, I went for a program on coaching, and I started really making myself available for people around me. I would say it is extremely important to put all these things while I was still working in the business. And I had quite, I would say, ambitious business life, because I had to deliver results, had to take care of partners, had to take care of colleagues. But the people angle remained always on the top priority, because if you take care of people, everything will follow. Be it partners, they will trust you on their business. Be it colleagues, they will take care of the business. And that's where I felt like really motivated. I was always like happy to look for more, curious to explore more. Then I went for a pure professional certification in coaching. At the same time, I said, you know what? Because I had the chance to travel to so many countries. My work is mainly on African territories. I've been to countries from the north, east, west, central Africa. I've been to cities out of the major capitals or the big cities that we know. And that's a blessing for me because I got to know cultures, habits, food, ways of living of people who are completely opposite to where I grew up. But I was always curious to look for more and learn more about others because, you know, sometimes being an Algerian, grew up in Algeria, you go outside of Algeria, you label situations. It's like, come on, what is this? Why people react that way? But in reality, if you just remove the judgment side and you keep an open heart and be curious, it's like, you know what, I've seen this. Tell me, what does that mean? Where is it coming from? And that curiosity made me build up very good relationship with the people around me. And I also said, you know what, let's create Anecdote because I want also to share these stories. Of course, I thought at the beginning of writing a book, but again, working for digital imaging industry for the past almost 20 years, it doesn't, let's say, sound really easy for me to go and write something while sitting in front of camera, enjoying first the setup and everything. That is like I'm a fish in an ocean. And that's why it's like, said, you know what, let's go for Anecdote. So somehow today, if I had to summarize my story and my journey, it was always filled of curiosity. I'm grateful because I had the opportunity to meet people, to visit places, and to learn about others. And the experience also taught me that I would love to know more about others and respect and appreciate the differences we have with others. And especially with what is happening in this world, I feel like if we know more about each other's, I think the world will be in a much better place. Because today we fear the unknown. We keep distance with something that we are not able to identify easily, simply because we are ignorant. We are not aware about why and the hows. So all these aspects create distance between human beings. While in reality, if we come closer, if we are curious about each other, if we don't judge each other, I think every human being will be much more rich or richer than what we are today. And that's why I will say my ambition is to be a better coach, be a better person, and share more stories. And that is, I would say, in a most summarized way, my own story. I said it at the beginning, I wanted to start with my own story. Luckily, because I was in Algeria and it was not planned, no real preparation, but it comes from the heart. It comes from the heart, and anything comes from the heart, I think for me, is the most authentic way. And today, I will say authenticity is very important. I wanted to share this without much preparation, and I'm so happy that I came here, and I will thank the entire team who is now recording and who has put me on this chair. And I would love to hear your feedbacks and share also your stories. And as I said, this is the first episode. It is my own story. It is very summarized. I'll tell much more anecdotes in the future, but I'm so glad that we were able to make it today directly from Algeria. I look forward to share much more anecdotes. Thank you for following us. Thank you for sharing your feedback. And I look forward to hear much more of your stories. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next episode. And I'll just tease you about the next episode because I spoke a lot about people. The next episode will be about people because people has the first priority place now in whatever I'm chasing in this life. And I will say I was able to combine the business and the coaching studies and also think about anecdote simply because I got support from my family, who are the people around me, who really supported me to go for the extra mile. So people helping each other will make us all in a better way, will make us all grow. So this is my story. I look forward to hear yours. Thank you very much. See you in the next episode.